Yeah, Iron Man. It looks like it'll be fun. I mean, I'm sort of glad they're ignoring all of the continuity because Iron Man probably has the stupidest continuity of any superhero in comic history. He basically started as a superhero fighting for our interests in Vietnam, which worked out really well. Okay, now he's fighting the Arabs. I'm sure that bodes well for future Middle East conflicts.
There's only been three origin reboots. The first time he is captured by evil Vietnamese, the second time he is captured by Saddam Hussein, and the third time he's captured by the Mujahideen.
This one time he died and came back from a pocket universe that Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four created to bring back all the heroes who died. I'm really hoping they skip that in the movie.
Okay, that was not Tony Stark who died. That was Tony Stark, young Tony Stark, from a parallel universe who replaced our Tony Stark when our Tony Stark died against Kang the Conqueror. And what happened was Franklin Richards created a pocket universe. That's the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, Sue Richards. And he created a pocket universe to save all the superheroes who died in the battle with Onslaught, so that when they go to the pocket universe, the Tony Stark from the parallel dimension and our original Tony Stark merge into one Tony Stark, so that when they come back, it's essentially the old Tony Stark from the beginning of the series.
You know, which Iron Man are they doing? Are they doing the early, cocky military-industrial complex Iron Man helping our fighting forces in Southeast Asia? Are they doing the tortured alcoholic Iron Man? Are they doing the militant anti-military, anti-technology Iron Man who wants to, save the armor for everybody but himself? Are they doing the, head of S.H.I.E.L.D. on the floating aircraft carrier Iron Man? There's just so many to choose from, and if you wait 6 months, I'm sure we're going to get a completely different Iron Man.
How can you be militantly anti-military? You can be pacifistically anti-military, but you cannot be militantly anti-military. That's redundant. It's always based on contemporary world events. They're not, masked robbers with, dollar signs on their bags.
The one distinction of Iron Man, he was the only superhero who was homeless for a short period of time. Except I think the Flash. I think him and the Flash were homeless.
Whoa, wait a second. Punisher lives in a van. He lives in a war wagon. How is that any better? And not even like an Explorer or a nice car, like an SUV. He lives like in an old 1975 van. He calls it the war wagon, but it's a van. I mean, how low rent is that? He's homeless because he was an alcoholic who had his company and all of his assets taken from him.
I guess he's fighting a big robot, which I guess you kind of have to do, because even though that seems suspiciously like the plot to RoboCop 2, Iron Man is unique among superheroes in that he has no cool supervillains. All his supervillains are incredibly lame. There's Stilt Man. He's my favorite, who has these huge robotic stilts, and everyone's like, how can we shoot him? He's so far off the ground. I forget if anyone in Iron Man ever occurs to them just, shoot out the bottom of the stilts and he's kind of useless. Then there's the Mandarin. I love him because he's one of the few comic book characters who combines two offensive racial stereotypes. He's kind of Pimp My Supervillain. He's this very sort of Fu Manchu-y Asian guy with the long fingernails and the mustache, but he's also got these bitch and pimp rings that I think shoot lasers.
The rings each have a separate power. They don't just shoot out laser bolts. Each one has magical properties. It's actually really cool because Mandarin represents both the combination of magic, Chinese folklore, and contemporary technology. Mandarin is the best Iron Man villain. Mandarin is one of the greatest villains in all comic books because he has both the ability of great technology and magic.
I think there's also the Crimson Dynamo, who I don't know. I just can't get behind any supervillain whose superpower is spinning. So that was his thing. He spins real fast.
What's great about Iron Man's villains is, like Iron Man, they're normally rival technology. Iron Man, when it's cooking, is like the best science fiction novel meeting the best spy novel. Whether he's going against the Spy Master or the Living Laser or IAM or the Crimson Dynamo or Black Widow is falling in love with him while spying on him at the same time, there's always almost a James Bond meets RoboCop quality that's just unique.
It's just armor is such a weird superpower. Like I'm so weak and frail. If only I had this like hard metal shell with guns, people wouldn't take my lunch money.
Correction, it's an exoskeleton, not armor.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting. He's got this little metal opening into his heart.
Stan Lee was able to actually predict a functioning artificial heart 20 years before one would actually be invented by Robert Jarvik. It's an amazing thing.
He's essentially got a vagina on his heart, which I guess is supposed to balance the feminine in this guy who's like basically a walking phallic interpretation of the military-industrial complex.
There's hardly anything phallic about something called a repulsor ray. I cannot work with this ignoramus. I'm out of here.
StudioFred.com.
Hi, true believer. This is Stan the Man Lee. Pay close attention in this movie to a security guard with a mustache and glasses. It may be a resemblance to me. Or a gardener in the upcoming Hulk film. Or a mailman in the new Ant-Man movie, 2010. And don't forget, Fantastic Four 3, there's a pizza delivery man who's quite handsome. Hint, hint. Also, pay close attention to a certain wood nymph in the new Prince Caspian film. Don't ask me why. It's not a Marvel property. Excelsior.